So today I'm going to tell you what stress is, how it works, and what you can do to prevent it. I'm also going to tell you how it will kill you faster than anything else if you don't get this, folks. If you don't get it, I'm going to explain how stress is the root cause of things like heart disease, strokes, and cancer. And I'm going to tell you exactly the things that people don't recognize and fail to look out for. So this video is going to be incredibly informative. And who am I to give you this advice? Well, I've had 20 years plus directly dealing with stress related illness. And I have been the heart health consultant in the Stress Management Society. So this is a topic I know intimately. I know a hell of a lot about it. And I can tell you this for certain. When people used to come in with a heart attack or strokes or cancer, folks, even cancer, first question I would ask them is, what have you been doing that's caused you elevated stress in the last 12 months? And every single person that's been diagnosed with a heart attack, stroke, or a cancer could answer that question instantly. Instantly. So I want you to bear that in mind before we even proceed to go on. So there you go, folks. You've had the end goal that what happens if you don't deal with stress. So let's talk about what it is. So stress is a response that is designed to keep you alive. And back in the day, let's go back in time. Let's tell you a story. Tell you stories. Let's go back in time, folks. Back in time. We're going to go. We're going to rise above it. That's why it's big picture. We're going to look down at this issue from a big point of view. We're going to look big picture, folks. Big picture. So back in the day, back in as your caveman, you could be there minding your own business, having fun at the family picnic, and suddenly a T-Rex turns up. T-Rex, folks. T-Rex. Now, their stress is designed to keep you alive. It's fight or flight. Fight or flight, folks. Fight or flight. So stress is designed to elevate your adrenaline, to make you stronger, to make you run faster, to make you fight harder. That's what stress does. It's a physiological response that is specifically designed to keep you alive. And even now, if you were, say, on a safari in the jungle and a lion popped up, you would want a stress response. So to say stress is bad is incorrect. Stress keeps you alive in a fight or flight situation. Stress response is completely normal and wanted. You absolutely want stress in your life if it's a fight or flight situation. So stress is not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, it's a very good thing in certain situations. Unfortunately, folks, unfortunately, genuine fight or flight episodes in our life are few and far between. Gone are the days where the T-Rex will randomly ruin your picnic. You're probably not putting yourself out in the jungle where you're going to expose yourself to such random attacks from fearsome predators. And unless you're trampling around on the North Pole, polar bears or the likes of it aren't likely to be regular um, visitors to your world. So on that basis, we don't really need fight or flight in its truest sense. Now, it could be argued that for athletes, for performance athletes, you want stress in your life. You want to stress yourself. You want your peak performance. You want to be able to run as fast as you can. You want to be able to be as strong as you can. You want to be able to perform at your highest level. Good aspects of stress to bring out the best in us in extreme situations, folks. So the stress response is a good thing. It's a good thing to keep us alive. Unfortunately, this is where things start to go wrong. Start to go wrong, folks. Um, that we haven't learned in our brain to tell the difference between a real threat for our life and something that pisses us off. So let's bring this alive in a modern environment. So there you are in the office, minding your own business, folks, minding your own business, getting on with your work, tapping away at your keyboard, getting into it, you're in the flow, and suddenly The page refreshes, the internet server goes down, the page refreshes. You hadn't saved where you were at. You've just lost all of the data that you've typed in, and now the internet won't work. And suddenly you start to get really pissed off. Now, that really pissed off translates to the fight or flight response. Your brain hasn't learned to tell the difference between fighting for your life and pissed off. And unfortunately, you get all the same responses. You get this heightened alertness. You get ready to fight or flight, which is why you will frequently, especially us blokes, you may feel ideas like picking up the laptop and wanting to throw it out the window. Perfectly justified in a fight or flight response, folks. We act irrationally. We act irrationally because we're getting this flood of chemicals to keep us alive, and we're pumped up, ready to do something mad, like run or fight to the death, folks, to the death, which is why you get all these insane reactions when people piss us off. Could be a passive aggressive look, could be a comment, a little dig. Same stress response, stress response, stress response, folks. And when that happens, the object of stress management is twofold. We have two approaches to stress management. So one of them is to give us tools to deal with more stress. And the other one is to strategies to take the stress away. So a classic example of this would be deep breathing. So one thing that can quickly reverse the effects of stress, because what happens is our breathing gets shallower. So a quick way to quickly reverse stress is to take a deep breath in and to hold it as long as you can. That's a fast physiological way to reverse effects of stress. And that's about managing more stress in our life. Taking it away would be me asking questions about what causes it. And if you were to say, well, it happens at work, I hate my boss, passive aggressive comments, people digging at me, I feel stressed all day, I would be having that question about taking the stress away. Is it time to change jobs, folks? Is it time to change jobs? And they're the sort of questions you have about getting stress out of your life. Two significant constants of stress are people stuck in jobs that they hate and people stuck in relationships where they don't love each other and people start winding each other up, where the love has gone and now it turns to hate, it turns to hate, turns to digs, daily stress at home, more stress, more stress. So we've got two approaches: take the stress away or build up our tools, our resilience to take more stress on. So, for example, boxers, mixed martial arts fighters, then building up that tolerance to stress. You want that because you are fighting, maybe not for your life, but you want to be at peak performance. So you're not looking to take it away. You're looking to play on the edge of that and then reset afterwards. Reset afterwards. Here's another thing, folks. Someone pisses you off or does something bad to you, you get stressed once. Now, with every other animal, let's take an elk, for example. An elk gets attacked, a deadly, potentially deadly attack with a lion, and the elk gets away. It's shown that it takes roughly about 20 minutes for the elk to reset and be completely on it. That's it. It's gone. It's escaped. There's no more stress. Equate that to a human being. Somebody was to do something to threaten your life, that could potentially traumatize a human being for the rest of their life. And the reason that we're traumatized is because we keep reliving it in our head. And reliving a memory that causes stress causes more stress. We stress ourselves. So we get attacked or abused once, and then we get attacked and abused thousands of times afterwards by our own repetitive thoughts. Not being able to let stuff go, folks. This is another reason why we get stress upon stress upon stress. So maybe once or possibly twice a day, back in the caveman era, to have that fight or flight response would be normal. But the trouble is, in the Western world now, it's happening all the time. Bit of road rage, more stress, stress at work, passive aggressive comments that we've learned to accept, family stress, dealing with it at home, dealing with the stress of the kids not doing what they're told, dealing with the stress of not getting what you want, dealing with the stress of people just generally pissing you off or being rude when you're out. Stress, 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 stress. And how this equates in modern world is fight or flight, fight or flight, fight or flight, fight or flight, fight or flight. Your body's preparing you to fight or run to the death over a minor issue. And you're feeling fired up one minute and you're feeling absolutely wrecked the next. All this adrenaline to fight or flight, and then you're wrecked. You're tired because you've been ready to fight or flight all day. This is why sleep is often the first thing to go on this cycle. Because part of the fight or flight is keep you awake, to keep you alive. The predator could come back while you're playing it in your sleep. You're trying to get to sleep. You're thinking that all of this abuse that happened to you during the day, all of these bastards that have pissed you off. You're thinking about it again and again and again and again and again. And before you know it, you're going insane. Insane, folks. We drive ourselves insane by thinking about the stuff that stressed us out, by not resolving the issues. So that's the cause of stress. And what can you do about it? Well, deep breathing is one of them. Knowing what causes the stress, taking it away is the main thing, folks. But we're just opening the door on a Pandora's box here. But even if I just get you thinking about what causes you the stress, if you know what causes it and start to think about how you can get less of it, then that's a massive step in the right direction. So I've just opened up the door on this subject today, folks. By all means, comment if you want to know anything else about it. I'll record more content on the topic because I have talked all day about this subject. So leave your comments, your questions. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, you know what to do. And if you want more content, it's just there, folks. So go and be Zen for the rest of the day.